Wow, so much is happening. These are really crazy times we're in right now. Everything's moving so fast. So much is happening every day, every single day. It's really like collectively we're in that stage. If you compare this to a river, the river moves through rapids. It's just a few more meters or whatever, and then there's a waterfall, a big waterfall. So if you ever saw that water just above a waterfall, how turbulent and wild, and it's just pulled towards that corner of that cliff where it goes down, and water in itself is celebrating. This is creating rainbows, this is creating a sound, a full sound. It's a celebration of nature. So that's kind of where we're at right now on planet Earth, with the United States in focus. So it all started last Sunday to get really into topmost gear with heliocentric Mars Eris conjunction. Mid-afternoon, 4 p.m. around in Washington, D.C. So this is the heliocentric chart. Here you see Eris and Mars exactly aligned, zeroing in on each other. In that sense, it's a new beginning of a cycle, of a Mars-Eris cycle. Now, Mars and Eris, they have lots in common. Actually, Eris is in Aries too, and the name in itself, Eris, has a frequency which is similar. Mars is ruling Aries, and Mars is the warlord, okay, and Eris is the instigator, the shaker, named after that goddess who throws a golden apple into the middle of the table round on Mount Olymp, where all the gods are assembled, and that simple action kind of breaks all the hidden conflicts open among these many gods, and they start the Trojan War, which eventually brings a higher order, a better stability. Problems will be exposed. Yes, that's what Aries is about, and it's aimed for a higher solution, and Mars is there, the one which activates this whole energy, also in Aries. So this is really a critical conjunction which happened last Sunday energetically, which set that last wave in motion of aiming for a breakthrough, or as I compared it to a waterfall. Now this chart for Washington is really particular. I mean, every chart here lately has such an enormous synchronicity. It's just unbelievable. I could constantly talk about all these many charts if I had the time. Right now I'm just kind of jamming this in between. I'm so terribly busy generally with creating some income here, as I didn't have much income this year yet. So I'm on the road doing what I do best. I'm doing wholesale, but it's not that I have really the time I wish to share what I know of astrology. I know this time will come, and anyway, I appreciate all the support I'm getting. It's really that's where I would like to put my energy and to teach and whatnot. Anyway, that's just 2 cents on the background, in the background on the side. So 26 degrees Aquarius was rising when Mars and Aries initiated this powerful impulse of action, and that's where the moon is in the American chart. 10 degrees Sagittarius, that's where Antares is, and Aldebaran on the other side, the two royal stars. Antares also related to war and to insisting on one's will, to make clear that one's direction is enforced almost. It's that enforcing energy of actually the dwad of Aries. It is 2 from 10 degrees till 12:30. That is not only the decant of Aries, which is between 10 and 20 degrees Sag, it's also the dwad. If we subdivide each sign into 12 fractals, the first 2.5 degrees are of the same sign's nature, so double Sag in that sense. From 2.5 to 5, it's Sag with a Capricorn overtone, and so forth, so on and so forth. So from 10 till 12:30 is also Aries energy. Lots of Aries, lots of initiation energy. And again, as I said, that's where the American nation's moon is. And by the way, this is where President Trump's Mars is, 2646, if I'm not mistaken. So it's very clearly, it is this dynamic of President Trump, who's really the awakener of the American people. And this comes into focus with this strong Sagittarian energy, and Huya is up there. Huya is another newer planet named after a Venezuelan rain god. And Huya is about transformation and also of redeeming the past, of healing, of going through a therapy of sorts. And I guess that's what's happening on the collective level. And then there is Nessus here, T-squaring Nessus opposing Orcus. I talked about this opposition before. This is kind of the whole satanic ritual abuse, which is coming into focus with Ghislaine Maxwell now again in the news, and whatever is found on Biden's laptops. So this is just really the starting point where we are at. Also Q lately again reposted Clinton Foundation crimes against children. So this all is coming into focus here. Nessus is about abuse, is a really dark and difficult energy, pathological behavior. Orcus has a similar frequency than Pluto. Actually, Pluto and Orcus are kind of symmetrical in their orbital arrangement, like the two wings of a butterfly. So Orcus also is about transformation and ritual. That's a particular word which comes in, alchemy. So in a very dark way, naturally, but also in a good way, in the sense of transforming and forgiving and transcending. Orcus comes in here too, and as you see, these two are in an exact opposition and in a full-on grand square here with the midheaven and midnight position, which is the kind of the vertical axis, is the plumb line, right? That's the word I'm looking for. The natural gravitational pull and the levitational upward pull, that polarity between heaven and earth. So this axis is always the one which is most directly connected with consciousness. So it says that in this Aries Mars cycle, which just started, which will be for the next 28 months or so, a bit less than that, that's the time Mars takes to once circle around the Sun till it again catches up with Aries for next 2+ years. This is the basic energy of the two planets in their combined effort, and as we pointed out, Mars and Aries are very much in a deeper resonance to start with. Now it so happened that also Earth was there, if we look at it heliocentrically, because that was just short after Earth was traveling between Mars and the Sun. It's just this is also the symbol of Earth. So the Earth is also aligned in this, which makes it even stronger, and it's at 25 Aries, 2553. Okay, now I want you to come back with me and I tell you a few more things about what's developing. So as of yesterday, Wednesday, the 21st, early morning, the moon is in Capricorn. This is the ingress chart for Washington. And now, just 2 hours later, the black moon entered Taurus, and the moon was at 1 degree Capricorn, lining up with Pholus. Pholus, the wise centaur, who's always showing up at critical turning points. Pholus shows that ability to bring everything to one single focus and then break through into a new dimension. The black moon in Taurus will be a 7-month period. What I want to point out here is the first degree, yes, of Aquarius, of Capricorn here, the moon is at. And just 2 hours earlier, when the moon entered, okay, just give me a sec, I pressed the wrong button here, okay, come on. Yeah, when I'm clicking the wrong button, then something happens which I don't want, but here we go. I wanted to just go back quickly to this chart. This is the 1 degree Virgo rising when the moon entered Capricorn. Now this is just there for 2.5 days, 21st, 22nd into the 23rd of October. So this is really the head of that 2-week period, which will be an enormous evolution of events. It will be getting so dense. It's really like fireworks, as I said in this little meme I posted yesterday. A sequence of mega booms, masterfully choreographed fireworks leading into the grand finale. And interesting, those of you who follow my YouTube video and posts know, November the 2nd is when Jupiter and Saturn will have their heliocentric conjunction. Let's go just back here once more. You see, that was October 18. Jupiter, already both are in Aquarius. Saturn entered Aquarius heliocentrically on September the 2nd, which definitely was an energy shift in those of you who have a memory and can track that back. This was a tremendous shift of energy in a new direction. And then October the 12th it was, that's just not even 10 days ago, Jupiter followed suit. Now they're both in Aquarius heliocentrically, which is the underlying energy. They will, as seen from Earth, cross this line short before winter solstice. Jupiter about 3 days and Saturn just about 1 day prior or so. To then have their new geocentric cycle restart on winter solstice. Anyway, just saying this, all this 0 and 1 degree energy is another sign of new beginnings. Now I don't want to make this video too long, just a couple more things here. So this is the black moon in Taurus ingress, which happened very short after the moon entered Capricorn yesterday, early morning on Wednesday. If the black moon in Taurus, we can expect whatever was initiated in the last 7 months, and the black moon was in Aries, and the black moon again is the collective shadow. It's the deepest place in the ocean where all the unresolved stuff gathers. So the last 7 months it was Aries, which was about initiating, to look at, to go there at all, to even get started on that journey. Also with Chiron in here was definitely amplified that phase, and Mars was also in this sign for so many months, unusual 7 months. Usually Mars is in one sign about 1.5 months, so this is about 4 times longer than usual Mars was in Aries. So anyway, all of this is shifting now into a manifesting phase. Taurus is about building, manifesting, making things, bring them into physical reality. So we can expect that this will be the 7 months of action, of not just thinking, of not just planning, but of bringing the results in, kind of. And again, the chart is just amazing. We have the galactic center at the bottom here for Washington, and there's Aspolus and Chaos here up on top. Mars is exactly on the American nation's the North Node is on American nation's Mars. If we just revisit that quickly, and you see 2122, that's the Independence Day, 1776, July 4 chart, the one Rudyard rectified, the famous 20th century Dane Rudyard, which I think is one of the most brilliant astrologers who ever lived. My private personal hero. So he has rectified the American chart in such a way with 13 degrees Sag rising. And you see, as I said, Mars 2122 Gemini, and where is the North Node 2118 Gemini. So it's really, there's so much Mars energy right now around. Mars is action. Mars is putting the nuts and bolts together, so to say. So I mean, every sign is there. With Aspolus up here, it's gonna be quite a wild ride, also in terms of revelations and dark stuff which is thrown into our faces. Aspolus, though, has as dark as this centaur's energy can be, there's something magical about its orbital resonance, as its closest point to the sun and its farthest point to the sun are in the proportion of the golden means. So there's a subtle healing which follows in its shadow, almost in the diving into darkness and discovering it, and there's a thrill which goes with it to discover the mystery. So let me just add one more chart here before we stop for this video. This is the midpoint chart, the resonance between the American People's Chart, July 4th, 1776, with the Black Moon in Taurus ingress, which again will give the how this will manifest for the American nation as a whole. This energy, how these two energies meet, the base energy of the nation and the present alignment of the planets, where they meet, where they intersect. It's kind of a resonance. So in this resonance, what is interesting is the moon, exactly on the Saturn, on transiting Saturn, 2544, Pluto here, just not far away. Chariklo is here. Chariklo, the midwife, the wife of Chiron. So anyway, this is the midpoint chart of that phase with the Black Moon in Taurus initiated. And what we see here again is Aspolus. That's always special when we see repetitions like that. So yeah, if you like to learn more about Aspolus, just type it into your search engine and put astrology or something, and then you will find a number of sites, astrologers who have written about Aspolus. Anyway, I want to keep it at that. It's just getting started, really. So hang in there, hold the ground, know that it works all according to plan, that this is a great masterful setup of strategies which is now playing out, which we were so patiently waiting for so long. The next 10 days will just be biblical, absolutely biblical. Thanks for joining and listening. Again, if you liked it, share it or give it a like or whatever, and subscribe. And maybe you want to join Celestial Rhythms on Facebook if you're having a Facebook account. That's where I'm more regularly publish my ideas and thoughts. Again, I'm not really much able to do that right now, as I'm so extremely busy with my bread and butter job, and that's how it is. But I really wanted to share this with you to give you a bit of a heads up. It's going to be wonderful. We're heading into a new time. Some huge shifts are ahead of us. Thanks for listening, and talk to you soon.